Hello everyone, I'm Mark Henderson. I'm going to defend my research on commercial use of airships during the interwar years by America, 1920s to 1930s. My question specifically was, what was the extent of America's investment in commercial airships during the interwar years? And I did that by breaking my paper into 5 sections. I talked about a very short history of airships. I described the commercial demand for air transport, mostly of mail and cargo and some passengers. Then I discussed the American commercial interest in airships, and then I talked about the infrastructure and costs that were associated with the airfields and supporting the airships, and then I discussed the end of the dirigibles. So my question was significant because there's been a lot of research on airships themselves, but not on the infrastructure, and I didn't find anything specifically that talked about their commercial aspects. There was a lot of discussion on the fact that they were intended to have the Navy's airships intended to have dual use, but my question was specific because it focused specifically on commercial interests. I was surprised to learn there were only 3 facilities built. That was surprising to me. And the U.S. only owned 5 dirigibles, which is what my research was limited to, the rigid airships, not the non-rigid airships. So I did most of my research for primary sources via the ProQuest historical research newspaper or historical newspaper archive database, and it was a gold mine. I can't tell you how many newspapers I read, but the information I found surprisingly contained a lot of financial information. You know, this airship was built on this day, or this amount of money was appropriated for this project to buy the land, to buy, President Roosevelt bought the land for this particular airbase because he was the acting assistant secretary of the Navy, that sort of thing. So just the newspapers alone were really great. Secondary resources, I really enjoyed the bibliographies because they were able to point me to more primary resources as well, but mostly I used the newspapers to pull my information from. And in summary, I wanted to say that my study explored the extent of American investment in dirigibles, but also in the process, I demonstrated that America's commercial use of airships for commerce never materialized because it was threatened by steamships transporting mail more than any other reason. And this was highlighted because American airship infrastructure, there was a growing demand for so my essay really highlighted American airship infrastructure by demonstrating that there was a growing commercial demand for air transport services in the interwar years, and it identified multiple American and international companies with commercial interests in airships. It also described American investment in the 3 facilities that were built specifically for rigid airships. Thank you.